Okay, morning folks. Welcome to the briefing on Friday the 24th. Weather's slowly on the change, clinging on to a bit of decent weather, but eventually, I think over the next 3 or 4 days, these fronts are going to win out and we are going to get some rain coming across us at various times. It's sort of the jet stream has sort of slipped down a little bit and beginning to drive these fronts across us, but it's all a matter of timing over the next 4 or 5 days as to what we got. And also, they are sort of dying out, as you can see with this one here. This warm front here, which had rain on it yesterday out to the west of Ireland, is now forecast to come across us sort of lunchtime-ish, early afternoon. Start to see the effect of it, and there's really nothing there apart from cloud, to be honest. So should be able to fly all day, hopefully. Westerly flow, as you can see from there, and the isobars are reasonably well spaced apart, so it's not strong, but noticeable on the ground and certainly at flying heights. You'll feel the wind drift. So the TAFs, Farnborough down here, 248 knots. Other places are saying 250, 260, so a bit of a variation. But west-southwesterly on the ground, and brisk enough 10 knots, I suspect, in reality, because most of the time recently they've been forecasting 5 knots, 8 knots, and it's been a couple of knots stronger than that generally. Broken at 600, which is probably what they've got now. We're in the mist and the cloud at the moment. Coming a little bit later, between sort of 7 and 10, few at 1,000 feet. Visibility just poor to start off with, but improving later, and I think getting better as the morning goes on. The upper winds, as I said, are westerly pretty much across the middle of the country, 270, down in the channel between 250 and 300 flying heights, so pretty much westerly flying heights, and 15 knots seems about right over us at the moment for most of the day. Sept shows what was a sort of fairly thick band of cloud here, which I think sort of marks where the front, in theory, was. It's sort of breaking up fairly readily now, and I think that'll be the case during the day. You can see the fog and the mist here, been coming and going this morning, and that'll fizzle out as the morning goes on, and it'll brighten up fairly quickly. And as the BBC showed, eventually you're going to see some effect of this. It'll feel like it's just sort of clouding over steadily as the afternoon goes on. Temperatures, yesterday they were saying it was going to be 21 degrees. It never really got there. It felt like coat weather all day, to be honest. But 22 degrees today, the BBC was suggesting, down around our area and to the south of us. It obviously won't quite feel as warm as that if you stood at the launch point in the wind, but fairly warm. Sun's still fairly strong at this time of year, and dew points, they're quite high. They're 10s and 12s at the moment around us, and I think this is where the dew points will be higher still, where that warm front is lurking. So dew points and temperatures not too far apart, really. I think as the afternoon goes on, we are likely to see some more cloud. Soundings, well, they're a bit all over the place just at the moment. This is the 12 o'clock midday, 1 o'clock forecast for around us. You can see the lines are well spaced apart, and I think with 21 degrees we might have some local soaring up to perhaps 2,500 feet if we're really lucky. And then as the afternoon goes on, they'll go a bit sort of wobbly. The lines start to come together here, so I think more likelihood of clouds slowly developing as we see the influence of that warm front and the air mass from it. There you go, by 6 o'clock there won't be any soaring in there, but we'll probably be finished flying by then. The Larkhill this morning, although it's not the air mass we've actually got today, just shows that there is an inversion around. So this is what's trapping the cloud we've got at the moment. It's just sat under this Once the temperature goes up, you can see it goes round here and it will burn off fairly readily when it gets a bit warmer. But quite stable air. I suspect it'll be stable air as the front comes in as well. So not a great soaring air mass, purely driven by temperature really. Top Meteo are showing sort of low cloud and mist to start off with. It's 10 o'clock and disappearing as the morning goes on. Sunny, hopefully by midday. And then starting to see a bit of an influence from this decaying and weak warm front as the afternoon goes on. Just showing up a cloud, generally coming in over us, but still warm and sunny. It should be quite pleasant. Soaring, they're not really giving any better than I've seen. So even at 12, 1 o'clock, some local soaring, 600 to 700 meters, maybe 800 meters, so 2,500 feet at best. You would guess. Not much of a suggested cross-country distance. All white generally means nothing at all. So flyable day from mid-morning, folks, mid to late morning. A bit of local soaring, but not much more than that. West-southwesterly winds, 15 knots of flying heights. In terms of airfield operation, no jet movements forecast for today. Nothing initially forecast until about Tuesday. So it should be quiet on that front. And local airspace, very, very quiet. A few things just for brief information. Southampton's hours of operation just slightly different from published. The Salisbury Plain danger area, we've been NOTAM'd all year as not having a danger area crossing service. These ones down here are just paragliding, one of the small events. And number 19 is Fairford's ATZ is activated. There's obviously activity going on that airfield. Apart from that, very, very quiet. I think you'll see some GA traffic buzzing around. It's a nice day, but really quiet on the airspace front. Okay, so I think if you're in the clubhouse thinking, when are we going to go out and fly, have another cup of tea, and then as soon as we think it's sensible, we'll go and drag the kit out, get it DI'd, and get it out on the runway. Right, hopefully see you out there at some point.